In this video, I will show you how you can create a professional stock chart directly in Excel using Python. We will create a candlestick chart and volume chart. You don't need any external tool. We're just going to use Python in Excel. We will start with creating open, high, low, and close chart. Then we're going to add our volumes. We will use Excel stock history function to get data. You can type any ticker here, start date and end date, and that will create your stock chart. If I change a ticker, for example, MSFT for Microsoft, and change the date, I will get updated stock chart. We have an option to add and remove line chart. We have an option to add and remove grid lines. We can also apply different themes. We have a light theme, gray theme, and also dark theme. This video is only a tutorial for creating a chart and it shouldn't be used for trading. The first step is to get stock data. Let's go to the datasheet and type your formula in cell B2. The name of the formula is stock history. The first argument is the stock, which I'm going to get it from stock chart sheet from cell C4. The second argument is the start date. I will get that from cell C5. The third argument is the end date. We have that in cell C6. The interval for the stock prices is daily, so we need to type 0. I need the headers, so it should be 1. Then we're going to have a set of options, and the way this function works is you need to keep typing the arguments in the order that you want. I want date as my first column, open as the second column, high as the third column, low as the fourth column, close as the next column, and for the last column, I want the volume. Enter. I'm currently getting an error because I don't have any data here. My ticker is AAPL for Apple. The start date is month 3, day 15, year 2025. The end date is month 6, day 15, year 2025. We have 3 months period here. And you will get all the prices in the order that we define here. Date, open, high, low, close, and the volume. By changing the inputs, the table will be updated. I also have 3 drop-down menus which I'm going to use later. For example, if we want to add or remove a line chart, if we want to add or remove grid lines, and we're going to create 3 different themes: light, gray, and dark. Convert your cell B10 to a Python cell, equal pi and press tab, and I will write my code in the formula bar. First, I'm going to import my data. My data frame is equal to, go to datasheet and click on cell B2. Stock history will return your values into a range of cells, but your formula is only in cell B2. You can convert your range to a dynamic range by typing # here. But we need to add the headers, so headers is equal to true. I'm going to use a ticker for the title of my chart later, so I can just refer to cell C4 to have this here. If the cell you're using is in the same sheet as your Python code, we do not need the name of the sheet. You can leave it here. You can also delete that. I will use matplotlib to create this chart, and my x-axis will be my dates. To be able to create the chart, I need to convert the dates into numerical values. It's pretty simple. We just need to import the dates from matplotlib. I'm going to add a new column to my data frame, and the name of this column is date num. This is equal to mdates, date to number, and I'm going to use the date column in the data frame to create this new column. I will create a chart with 2 subplots, candlestick charts on the top and the volumes in the bottom. I will assign a name to my plot, and I will have 2 subplots. AX1 and AX2. PLT dot. Notice that I didn't import matplotlib as PLT because by default is imported. We're going to have subplots with 2 rows and 1 column. Fixed size is equal to 10 by 6. Share X is equal to true. Gridspec underscore KW is equal to, and I'm going to define the height ratios here. I will not go over all the arguments in matplotlib in this video. That would make it a very long video. I'm assuming you either know matplotlib a little or you're just following to create the exact same chart. You can also use ChatGPT to find these arguments. Height ratio is 3:1, and let's close the parenthesis. 3:1 means the top chart is 3 times the size of the bottom chart. Let's see what we have. plt.show, Control Enter. If I click on pi in the cell, I will see a preview, or I can right click and display plot over cells, so I can put it on the screen. Currently, I have a blank chart with 2 subplots. I will create 3 charts: the candlestick chart and the line chart for closing prices for the top part of the chart, and the volume chart for the bottom part of my chart. For the candlestick chart, we need to decide which days are closed higher and which days closed lower. So for the days that closed higher, we're going to use green color. For the days that closed lower, we're going to use red colors. I will use the exact same colors everywhere in my chart, so I can just assign the colors to variables that will make it easier to create the chart. And set the colors here. C_green for the greens. This is the color code for the green that I will use, C_red. And I'm going to use gray for the line chart. I will look through my data frame, and line by line, I will decide if it's closed higher or lower. For each row, if the closing price is greater than or equal to the opening price, I will have green, otherwise I will have red. In the top subplot, AX1, I'm going to create a bar chart as my candlesticks. The x-axis is going to be the date numerical values, date num. The size of the bar will be closing minus opening. And the bottom part of the bar will be the opening price. What are the colors? We already decided here, so I can just pass the color variable here. Line chart is part of the top axis. So AX1 dot, I'm going to create vertical lines, V lines. The x-axis will be the date numerical values. The bottom part of the line is the low price, and the top part of the line is the high price. I will use gray for these lines. I already have a variable for it. We need a closing bracket here. I think we need to have a thinner lines, so let's adjust that. The top part of our chart is completed. Let's create the volume chart. Similarly, we need to loop through the rows, and for each line we need to decide if it's high or low. I can use the same loop because for each day we're going to have one volume. This will go to the second axis. Again, we're going to have a bar chart. The color for volume bars will be the same as the color for candlestick chart, so I can pass this here. Let's add a title. I will add my title to the top of the first subplot. The title for this chart is going to be the name of the ticker, which is AAPL, stock prices and volume. But the ticker should be updated based on what we have in cell C4. We already imported the ticker name and assigned that to the ticker variable. We can concatenate them, and we will have the title. Next, I'm going to update the axis so proper dates are displayed. Dates are only displayed on the second subplot. They should be in date format. I only want to see the month and the day. We can use the major formatter and use date formatter here. And this is the syntax we're going to use, B and D, for month and day. If you want, you can rotate the axis, plt dot, xtext, and we're going to have the rotation here. I want to have a type layout, plt dot, type layout. The line chart we have here is actually part of the candlestick chart. It shows the range of prices. Let's rename this to line chart for candlestick. Then we are going to add the line chart for closing prices. This will be added to subplot 1. X-axis is the dates, Y-axis is the closing price. I'm going to use a gray color and I'm going to adjust the size of the line. I want the user to have the option to add or remove this line. We have a variable add and remove in cell F4. I just need to have an if statement here. If the value in cell F4 is equal to add, then create this plot. Otherwise, just ignore it. Next, I'm going to add and remove grid lines based on what we have in cell F5. Let's scroll down to axis and grid lines. If the value in cell F5 is equal to add, then we will add some grid lines. ax1.grid is true. ax2.grid is true. And the last step, we are going to apply different themes based on the option selected in cell F6. We can have light, gray, and dark. Matplotlib has a variety of themes that you can apply to your charts. You can look them up. We have many different themes. Set color and theme. Theme is the value given in cell F6. If theme is equal to light, I'm going to use the default theme, which is what you see on the screen. plt.style.use default. I need two equal signs here. If the theme is gray, plt.style.use 538. If it's equal to dark, we can use a dark background theme. The ticker is MSFT for Microsoft. is for 2-month period. I want to add line charts. I want to add grid lines. This is a default theme, light. Let's change it to gray and dark. You can adjust anything you see on this chart if you know matplotlib, or you can get help from ChatGPT or other chatbots to make adjustments to these charts.